What happened to Rides with Strangers? Or what became of it? Not the type of question I ask, but this wasn't the type of indie horror experience I thought I would be so captivated by. And if you think about it, the real-world context of the risk and reward system of hitchhiking is kind of scary. When the demo came out back in 2016, it appeared to get positive feedback, mostly from Let's Players. From what you could see, it was the originality and disturbing pre-smile, and what you couldn't see, such as the weird noises coming from the trunk of the car. So the demo was just scratching the surface of Alora's story, and the beginning of our creepy encounters with a bunch of strange drivers you feel that would drive around at nighttime. It seemed promising, but then it became nothing. So what happened? Well, it's from Reflect Studios. You know, the guys behind Welcome to the Game and Scrutinized. They started a Kickstarter to fund the game and got over 1,000 backers, hitting over 30 grand. The whole campaign was well designed and informative. They even released a well-descripted trailer. And then it went the way of Silent Hills, becoming nothing. The reason given by them was the horror indie scene wasn't the most profitable at the time. So they kind of scrapped it, making some of us sad pandas. I say some of us because I don't think many know that the game's being kaput. It's somewhat being forgotten, unfortunately, worse than just ending its development. I mean, look at this, or better yet, observe it. It's a brilliant concept. In a way, it's similar to the Welcome to the Game's dark web surfing survival experience. But you're just taking rides from the freakiest bunch of people, being put to the test with conversation, raising your pulse with each mundane cryptic question. Also the lighting, the job they did with the father's face, how he's barely visible, is pretty eerie. Usually with a lot of scary games, you feel like the isolation can take a toll on your mind, but with this, you want to be isolated, because of its sinister gimmick. What do we know what could have been? Well, it was pretty detailed by the Kickstarter of what to expect, with the potential of the new strangers, which they even made a pretty cool trailer for. Of course, you know the father from the demo, but they were planning on having 9 more. Such as the Dungeon Master, the Nympho, the Gentleman, the Shidu. Well, that was actually cancelled. See, I love these kind of projects where you get an answer for something, you want to ask more questions. Granted, they're not as creepy looking as the father, apart from maybe this old lady. But if they could hit the levels of creepy voice acting, they could really have a horror classic on their hands. Of course, this whole thing needed some more work. This could have been everybody's artistically twisted cup of coffee, if the coffee was brewed from jelly beans. I would have loved to see what they would have done with the Dungeon Master. I like the way he's wearing the Free Wolves and Moon shirt. There's also this detective character, who could maybe be a friend. Maybe the challenge with him is he ends up interrogating you thinking that you're the killer, and if you spike his paranoia, he might get an itchy trigger finger. There's also a clown, because why not? The Nympho, Lydia, looks kind of interesting. Apparently she's kind of connected to Welcome to the Game. Pixar could take notes with this Easter egg world reference building. I really hope that they could do kind of a Large Marge driver. Some kind of paranormal entity that will scare the socks off you if things go south. That focus on horror comedy could really work. I think they did a good job with the atmosphere. Similar to the other games Reflect made, the location feels very eerie and daunting. With the surrounding trees, that missing person billboard, the mist in the distance, and like many games that creep us out,
liminal spaces.
It's this kind of stuff that really chips away at your sanity while playing. And I hope it's got that same brutality, you know, the way that people spend hours on end with one life, only to have it end with the fear of having it taken away, wasting so much time. And I hope it's a tense experience like Reflect's other games, where you end up playing hours on end with only one life, and that death that will result in so much time lost. Yeah, I know that sounds kind of sadistic, but hey, that makes some good Let's Play videos. Again, all this reminds me it's such a shame that it was scrapped. Or maybe it will be resurrected. There might be still hope. Guess there's always Welcome to the Game free, because we risk a dire consequence of too many sad pandas. The video ends now.